Hey horror fans, thanks for joining me for this review of Willy's Wonderland. Alright, let's start with the IMDb plot as usual. And it is a quiet drifter is tricked into a janitorial job at the now condemned Willy's Wonderland. The mundane tasks suddenly become an all-out fight for survival against wave after wave of demonic animatronics. Fists fly, kicks land, titans clash, and only one side will make it out alive. Alright. Demonic animatronics. Say that fast a couple of times. Let's see. So I've seen some of the headlines of some reviews. I don't think I read any specific one. Seems a lot of people have checked out this movie already. And I think, I'm not sure where I'm going to land as far as those reviews. But this is Nick Cage, and I guess, a lot of this film is going to be whether you like him or not. I think he, for me, he's okay. I don't mind him. But he's, for whatever reason, done a lot of movies recently. A good bunch of them horror movies, or action/horror, if you want to say. We had Color Out of Space and Mandy, and he probably did a few others that I'm just not thinking of. But those are two specific ones I know that I've looked at recently. And so I think that's going to be point one. Whether you watch this or not is whether you like him or not. If you're not really a fan of him, or maybe not a fan of him as far as how he talks or delivers dialogue, then you may want to give this one a chance, because he doesn't say a whole lot here. Amazingly enough, that I guess casting him plus animatronics kind of gets everybody interested, and everybody wants to see this. But maybe people would have seen it if it was just animatronics versus a random person who maybe we're not as familiar with, because Nick Cage doesn't. I don't even think he might not say a complete sentence in this. I don't remember him saying much. He grunts a couple of times while he's fighting. Kind of looks at people with a weird face, but doesn't have a whole lot to say here at all. So that might be, if you're not keen into what he has to say, that might be a plus for you. But if you're looking for him to deliver the smooth line or something like that, that's not going to happen either. So basically, what do we have here? I think much of what I'm going to say is not really a spoiler. I think, we got the basics down here. Animatronics, Nick Cage. You don't need to complicate the storyline too much. Basically, he's coming through town on the way somewhere, and his car breaks down, and coincidence, here comes a guy who can repair it, but needs to tow it away, take a look at it, and apparently it's going to cost a little bit more than what Nick Cage has to spend. So therefore, he has to, he actually gets lucky, and the owner of Willy's Wonderland comes by and says, hey, you do a job for me, and I'll take care of your payment on the car. And the job is basically to go inside Willy's Wonderland and clean it up. So that's what he sets out to do. And they let him in, explain the job, move on, and he's left alone. The other side, there's a smaller story here, sub-story, that opens up with a girl, and it looks like she's trying to destroy Willy's Wonderland. Not 100% sure, but that's what it looks like. The sheriff stops her, and later on her friends come and kind of get her out, and they soon to find out that Nick Cage's character is now inside Willy's Wonderland, and apparently they know what's about to happen. So while most of her friends don't really care what happens to Nick Cage, she basically takes it upon herself that, hey, I'm going to go rescue him. So they go over there, and they're banging on doors and windows, trying to get him to come out. Hey, come out and let's go. You don't want to be in there. Not happening. He is continuing to do his job. He takes his job very seriously. He's cleaning up, sweeping up, fixing tables and chairs, doing whatever else he needs to clean this place, fixing a few things, and then the animatronics start coming into life, and he takes it pretty well. He's just kind of looking at it, and when it gets kind of physical with him, he gets physical right back, and kind of fights it and beats it and moves on and continues to clean and sees another one and continues to clean, and lo and behold, the animatronics are not going to get the best of Nick Cage. Who are they going to get the best of? The kids. So the kids end up in there too, or I should say the young group here, and they're the victims here. They're the ones that the animatronics are going to get to kill. So we do get to see some blood and guts here, some decent kills. The animatronics are done well. They look pretty cool, and so you get some decent deaths going on here with these kids. But and again, not spoiling anything. I think if you've watched a horror movie, you kind of get the point here. The biggest thing to not spoil, and I'm not going to spoil it, is obviously why these animatronics come alive. Obviously, there has to be a reason behind it, and I'll leave that for you to watch, for you to figure out. Or not figure out. They're basically going to tell you. They're going to spend a little bit of time here telling you the backstory of why these animatronics are the way they are. Probably I don't want to insult somebody, but probably the biggest writing here of this movie is done there in explaining what and why these animatronics have come alive. There are some funny moments. There's a funny moment with an animatronic that there are a few animatronic moments a little bit of ways from this place. There's a funny moment there. They create one or two funny ones. They also create one or two that kind of have an interesting maneuver or two that might surprise you in the middle of the fights. But yeah, the beef of the story is the story they put together for why these animatronics are there. There's that small story of Nicolas Cage ending up there, but no big deal. The only other thing to kind of mention here is Nick Cage's character. Like you say, he's pretty bland. But he has one interesting thing he likes to do, and that's no matter what he's doing, he kind of sets a timer and he has to go over to the pinball machine and start playing. No matter what. He can be in the middle of a fight and then the clock goes off and he's going to go over there and play. In the middle of cleaning, he's going to go over there and play. I believe he popped a soda pop to drink. Might have been a beer, but I think it was a soda pop. He puts on some glasses and he plays a pinball machine of Willy's Wonderland. And, not only does he get to beat up the animatronics, he gets to beat up the so-called animatronics in this game, because he's pretty good at it. But it's an odd thing, and, it has a little bit of humor, but it's also, very weird. But, this is a Nick Cage movie, and, moments in Color Out of Space, and definitely Mandy, he's not shy to the weirdness either. So, so they go back and forth fighting, kids die, and then, you kind of get that. I won't spoil the ending, not much, to spoil. I think you guys are going to kind of know where this is headed. And with that, I think I'm just going to give this one 2.5 pools of blood. I think it's a good idea overall. Nick Cage versus demonic animatronics. A good thing to put together, a good idea, a good combination there. You're going to get views, you're going to get people to watch. Like I said, I saw, when it's release day or whatever, I saw a ton of reviews flash on Twitter there. So a lot of people have seen this, and a lot of, some build up for it. The movie's not bad. It's done well. The kids there, or the young people there, they do a decent job. They're not overly used or overly acted there. They're fine. And Nick Cage is Nick Cage. Like I said, if you don't want him speaking, or you're not really caring what he has to say, then have fun, because he doesn't say much. If you're looking for him to say something, you're out of luck. But yeah, this is kind of in between, because I'm not, I didn't hate it. I think it's worth a watch. Like I said, it's a well done movie. There is blood and guts. Some of the animatronics are done well, and it's a good job there. But I don't think there was anything amazing. Like I said, there's a decent story behind why the animatronics are there, but the overall story, otherwise that, is just, I don't know when. I don't think I've ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, and I guess that's the only real surviving one of these kind of play areas now, at least around my area. But I know that when I was younger, there was a couple of these other places that were similar to this kind of setup here. Obviously no longer existing, so probably the writers or whoever came up with this idea said, what kind of thought back to that time and said, what if they came alive and tried to kill people, and I guess this time they, as opposed to coming alive while people are actually there, just come alive, after hours and so forth. But it is what it is. Not a bad idea for a horror film, and why not? So, 2.5 pools of blood. And as usual, Horrors Gory Reviews .blogspot.com is where you can find more of these reviews, video, and obviously written as well. I write reviews as well, plenty of them there, going many years back. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. You want to talk about this movie, other movies, you want me to review something, you can put it on there too. We'll see if time permitting, if I can get to it. And I'm glad that none of these places I went to when I was younger, these animatronics came alive and tried to kill me. Certainly wouldn't have been prepared back then. Maybe a little bit more prepared now, but it is what it is. So I guess I'll catch you on the next review, horror fans.